yourself. Yeah.
Let's see how long the delay is here. Live. Okay, we're live, but let's see. No one showing up in
I'll tell
the
you,
chat.
I'm watching on another computer. I got
Hang
it.
on. It's that
I got two
delay.
computers up.
10, 15
All right.
seconds. Watch it.
I got two up, two computers. I'll tell you when.
I didn't even come up yet.
I got it. I got two computers.
Okay. Well, we all like to see it.
Wow.
Well, I can see.
Let's go into the
Live.
show arguing.
You're live
I
now.
see 3 people
You're
in the chat.
You're live. You're live. You're good.
All
Hello,
right.
guys.
Hello, everyone, and happy
You
Sunday.
dirty rogue. Hey.
Okay.
We were going
Thank
to come into the show arguing for everybody today, but ALV didn't want to.
We like the arguments in the backstage. Yeah, we killed that.
Oh, be quiet.
I had to sit shiva today, guys.
Well, let's
You're
say
lucky. Go ahead.
let's give our condolences to whoever that was and their family,
Two actually in one day.
And-
Oh my goodness. Two
and
in
then
one day.
we'll say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Teresa Murphy. Hi, Todd Father. Maureen is here. Kelly is here. I saw Adam is here.
Hi, guys.
William from Brooklyn. Mike F checking in. Baywatcher, he's always here. Let's see, anybody else? That's it for now. Okay, cool. Thank you guys for joining. And we're going to go over 5 small scenes today because as we get towards the end of The Godfather 2, a lot of the scenes are smaller, so they're not that in depth. They're powerful, but they're smaller scenes. So we're going to go through 5 of them today.
He didn't prepare us for this.
It's easy.
We
Don't
know
worry
it.
about it.
We
You
know
know
it.
it. You know this stuff. So, hi, Gianni. How are you? Good to see you. So, the first scene we're going to talk about is the death of. That's the first scene in chronological order. Is the death of Mama Corleone. They don't tell us why she died or anything like that, which is I thought was interesting. Like, there's nothing at all said about why she dies, and I couldn't find anything either online as to why she died. So, just assuming heart attack. That's usually the default thing that happened.
Old age, yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the first thing I want to talk about in regards to this is where the funeral takes place, which is in the house. The wake is in the house, which is an old custom. And I don't even know if it was going on at this time. Predominantly in America, 1959. I don't know if they were still doing it in homes.
Yes,
then.
they were.
They were.
I was
went to
at
one.
2 house funerals in my.
I went to one. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that, like you said, I mean, I've been to 2. They were as old school Sicilian as you could get it. I mean,
right.
So yeah.
I went to one.
And you know what? They believed in doing that. My grandmother, she told me the story. It was basically the privacy, and they didn't want nobody to see what they were grieving. It was all in the house, they called it. I got to ask my mom, see if she.
So I can add to a little bit. You know, we're on the topic, so we might as well give the crowd the background. So, from what I understood, my friend's grandfather came from Barry, came to Newark, died in hospice care in the house he built coming from Italy, and then laid out in the same room that he died in.
Yeah,
because that's where everything started and where everything ended.
Right. And
so they bookend it.
They all get together.
Yeah.
They all gather. They all eat in one spot where that person is. Exactly, Stiggs. Yes, that's what that person would want.
So yes, I'll add a little bit of that thing though. The kitchen was right off the room that this fellow died in, and
right, because their philosophy, they built that house with their bare hands. Everything happens under that house. That's where we're happy.
Right.
That's where you're going to eat, grieve, get together, and do everything they have to do alone. We don't want nobody to know anything.
Now, which house are they actually in? Are they in the Staten? They're not in the Staten.
No, they're in. No, they're in.
Reno.
they're in the Nevada house. They're in the Lake
Family
Tahoe house.
Family house. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
It's now here's an interesting fact about this about this scene is the actress had a real hard time doing this scene for a couple of reasons. She was claustrophobic, and also because she thought it was she was very superstitious, and she didn't like the idea that she had to actually lay down in a coffin like that.
Right.
So it took them a while to do this scene, to get her to do that.
I bet.
Wow.
Now think about it. Yeah, you could pay me big money, but you know how eerie that is, for a Sicilian male to lay in a coffin like that, just to pretend. That's like bad karma. That toss it was. Anything that had to do with death like that, acting. We had a statue of prayer hands, me and my brother, that my great grandmother gave us. And every time Aunt Madeline from Pittston, Pennsylvania would come over, we'd have to hide them hands because ALV, they look so real. She would start crying. Those are looking too real. Get them out of here, Dean. Get them. Oh, she couldn't take the realness of the hands.
Right.
Yep.
Interesting.
Just what do I want to say? Weird stuff like that with that.
Superstition, yeah.
Superstition, sure. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Superstition. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
They were strong with that.
So there's flowers. Obviously, there's flowers all over the place in the living room here, or whatever this particular room is, because it's a very big. It's a ranch. It's a very big ranch. So I don't know specifically which room this is, but it's a room that they designated for this. And you see, Fredo is leaning over the coffin in this scene, in this picture. That's Fredo. There. And remember, he hadn't been allowed here. This is the first time he's been allowed since he's been banished to come back.
Mother's death. Michael told him.
And then he goes off. He gets up.
I don't want to see you again until Mom is dead. Michael told him that.
Right.
Wow.
So he gets up. And he gets up and he goes over to Tom and says, "Can I talk to you?" And he asks Tom, "Is there any way that I could see Michael?" And the answer is no chance. There's no chance.
No chance.
So at that point, Connie intervenes on his behalf and says to Tom, "Where's Michael? Can I talk to him? I'd like to talk to him." And he tells him he's in the boat. He tells her he's in the boathouse. And that's where Connie goes. Connie goes directly to Michael in the boathouse with the purpose of talking to him about Fredo. That's their whole purpose there, is to try to get him to talk to Fredo.
You know how heartbreaking that is when you're standing there and someone says no to you, and then someone asks and they go right ahead. You know how terrible. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it was obvious.
Michael,
Yeah.
As a man, you're done. As a man, you're done.
Yep.
And that was family doing that. That wasn't just friends. That was family.
Now, when when Connie goes in to talk to Michael, the first thing she asks him, which I thought was interesting, is Kay coming? That's the first thing she asks him, is Kay coming?
Yeah.
And he just shakes his head and says no. Now, do you think she didn't want to come? She was afraid to come, or he would not let her come? What do you guys think about that?
All of the above, D.
All of the above.
All of them?
I think so. I think
I'm going to play that one safe. I go all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
Who would want to see her, look at her, have her there, anything?
She wouldn't want to.
And now this is where things deviate a little bit from the book, because, and this is why I say if Mario Puzo wrote a sequel, it would have been different. I think certain things would have been different. And one of the things is I don't know if Kay would have been the villain that she turned out to be, because in the book itself, the original book, she's very close to Mama Corleone, very close to her, and actually loves her, professes her love for her. So I think she would have come to this funeral. She would have made her best efforts to come to the funeral.
Wow, that's interesting. I wonder.
Yeah.
But the negatives outweigh the positives there.
And the thing is, go ahead.
Look, if Mama Corleone was told what Michael found out, there's no way she would want to come.
Right.
If she
That's
knew
true.
that she found
Right.
out.
Right.
Her head's in shame right at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Right. Exactly. So Michael. So I'm sorry. We're back to Michael with Connie speaking to Michael in the boathouse. The kids are sitting on the chair over there, and she asks them, can you go outside? Now, the kids don't move. The kids just refuse to move. They won't move unless they get a direct order or direct direction from Michael, which I thought was very interesting. Like Connie saying it meant nothing to them at all. Nothing. They wait there for Michael to give them the okay to get up and leave the room.
Absolutely.
They were under his total guidance, 100% in every aspect.
That was the same discipline me and my father had right there.
And that boy looked
priceless. That discipline is priceless. Everybody listening,
that
may
boy
never see it, never experienced. That discipline is priceless. That's love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Michael okays it. They get up and they leave, and then Connie begins to talk about Fredo and says, and first she starts off by saying, "I hated you, Michael, but I got to the point where I forgave you. Why can't you forget Fredo? He's so sweet and helpless." That's how she describes him. Sweet and helpless. And then says, I want to take care of you. I want to take care of you. I want to take care of you. You just got to forgive Michael. You got to forgive Fredo. That's basically what she's trying to do. Yeah, she's trying to bargain there to get them to make up. Right. That's what she's trying to do.
Yeah, because only a woman could do that as a sister.
Right.
Not just an ordinary woman. As a legitimate, smart woman, that's your brother. It's the only way. You got one shot left to try to save this guy's life.
Mm-hmm.
Sister to brother.
Right.
That's it. And she did it like a woman should do it. So.
Well, she lost her husband to him. Now she's going to lose her brother to him.
Yeah. Yeah. She's trying everything for this not to happen. Whatever she begged them. She begged them.
Because she lost her husband to the life. Now she's going to lose her brother to the life.
She was at that turn point already. She already realized that, Connie.
Exactly. Yep.
The whole family will be wasted if she don't try to stop this.
So basically, she's successful because the next scene we see is Michael going into the wake room and finding Fredo there.
Okay, I got a lot to add to this when we get to the point of me speaking. This is great.
And this is what we see. We see Fredo reaching out to hug Michael. Michael hugs him.
Okay.
And we see the look on Michael's face, though. Michael doesn't even look at Fredo. Who's he looking at?
Fredo on the floor, already dead.
He's looking at Al Neri. That's what he's looking at. Yeah. That's who he's looking at, Al Neri. And he's communicating to Al Neri without saying a word. He's just looking at him and he's communicating to him.
Okay. This is great. Okay, so I'm going to add something here because he did this in a brilliant way to really throw off Connie about taking his life. He made her think that she got him. He made her think that she hit his soft spot.
Absolutely.
Whereas as soon as she said it, he went into his manipulative mindset and said, "Oh, I could pull this off. I'm going to use this to my benefit."
Absolutely.
He was his father's son, remember?
It was one tactic versus another, Stiggs.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got my sister to believe that I'm going to be all right. And he's looking at Neri going, anytime you want now.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
That's us. That's it.
Right.
Oh, my God. Beautiful. Beautiful cinema. Wonderfully executed. Wonderfully executed. Pardon the pun. I said wonderfully executed, but pardon the pun. I mean,
the chill, just like the coldness and the chill in that room at that point, you could feel it. You could feel just from the look that he gives to Al Neri.
You and I, we can feel it.
Yeah, the viewer could see that.
The viewer
could just feel it.
So well done. The viewer can see it, but the sister cannot.
Right. Well, because listen, Connie's emotional at this point, and all she wants is for her brothers to get together. So she's gonna pick up on any of this and run with it. This is perfect. This is what I want to see. Absolutely.
She thinks she succeeded.
She's taking over her mother's shoes now. She's at the head of the table, Connie, trying to make this right.
And that's a great point, Dean, though. She does step into the mother's shoes, as we see. And as we see in Godfather 3, when we get there, you see a different type of Connie there. You see
She's
a totally different,
Yep. She already took that title, ALV. In Godfather 3, she's already got her mother's title. At the ending of 2, she starts taking it, like Michael started taking everything. Yep. That's a strong woman. That's a great woman right there, man.
But the generation change is evident because Mama Corleone didn't say 2 words about this life.
Well, Connie had to. You look
Connie
at
Connie.
Yes, right. Connie kind of tried to take some of her father and her mother. She tries to take both. She tries to take them both.
They made her as the perfect offspring of the 2 of them.
Yeah, perfect.
They really did. It's crazy that they did that. They pulled it off.
Yep. She becomes her father in 3 too when she's making the cannolis. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. It's all, it's all in one circle, guys. Yep. She'll do anything to help the family.
So basically, at this point, as much as Fredo knows, Fredo's okay. Fredo figures he's back in. Remember, Fredo's not the sharpest tool in the shed to begin with. So he's at ease now. He's okay. Yeah. I'm back in. I got back in, at least somewhat. At least I'm welcome here now.
And Michael was all ready for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Fell right into his nest.
Now, look how that kicked in a moment's notice when Connie visited him, and then this happens 10 minutes later. He pulled this all together in his mind in 5 minutes.
That's all it takes, Biggs.
Yep.
Well, remember, he also remember what he said to Alneri. I don't want anything to happen to him until my mother is dead. And well, that's got to be top of his mind right now. Aside from his grief, that's top of his mind.
Right. Gianni, I kind of love that, Gianni. I love that in 3. If my sister stepped up to Consigliere, who else could you trust better than that? Nobody.
Well, Dinger, that's a good point, and I'll tell you why.
Right?
I'll add to what you're saying. Because Michael did accept her in that way, Gianni, because she stood the test of time. She never, other than what's his name that she was going to fly around and marry. What was his name?
Merle.
Troy Donahue.
I don't know what this.
Troy Donahue.
This Merle. I don't know what this Merle does. Other than the Merle part, she really never drifted away from the life that she knew. So it was probably a good choice for him in 3.
Absolutely.
And basically, she says at this point to Michael, the other part of this that I neglected to say was, she said, the things that I did to myself were to hurt you. So her flying around the world with Merle and everybody else, like all that stuff, she says she did to hurt Michael because Michael killed her husband.
She had to get back at Michael. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything she could do to hurt Michael, she did.
Right.
Yeah. But then she came around.
Yep.
And stepped
all right.
up.
So that's the scene here.
Yeah, that was good.
Now we're going to go on to the next scene, which is when Michael meets with Tom in the boathouse. Michael summons Tom in the boathouse. And in the boathouse is his capos, which is Neri and Rocco, Michael and Tom. So the 4 of them are there. And as he it's interesting, this scene too, because as Tom walks in, Michael says something to him in Italian. And what he says to him is everything okay? But he says it in Italian. And Tom says, yeah, everything's okay. Right. And then he sits down and they begin to talk. Now, I'm going to point out, I couldn't find a picture of this, but hold on, I'll show you what the picture I did find. But I couldn't find a picture of what I wanted to share with you guys. But where is it here? There it is. This is what Michael looks like when he's in the boathouse and meeting with them. Now, Michael is eating an orange at this time. He's eating an orange in this discussion with Tom Hagen.
Wow.
So you know what that means. It's going to be it's a precursor to what they're going to be talking about, which is Roth's demise. Basically, that's what this conversation is all about. How we're going to get Pentangeli and get rid of Pentangeli and get rid of Roth. That's what this conversation is about.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get to Gianni's comment.
Let me cut you off first.
Go ahead.
We're talking. I almost swore. Silo and Gianni, we're talking about the movie. That's all. We're not saying if this is actual streets, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think he's right, but remember,
up in the movie, at that point, we would have put our sister, right?
Remember, Michael did take it to a modern era by marrying, by being with an American girl.
Mm-hmm.
So he started to change the culture,
right?
So it's not so shocking when Connie does become involved. It's somewhat because he already changed up his culture. And what Anthony said in the last episode is that, he was a collegiate guy. So yeah, that's a natural course. He's around these people. He's around these waspy people. So he already started to change the course of the culture. So by 3, he
Gianni,
accepts Connie. Yeah.
And Gianni, what I would say here is, I know what you're saying. Like the Sicilians,
right.
You're saying the Sicilians wouldn't bring their sisters in, but I don't think he's bringing his sister in. I think she's asserting herself. Connie is asserting herself into this position. Right.
Very strong personality.
He lives with them.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And remember, and think about Michael for a second. At this point, Sonny's dead. His mother and father are dead. He knows he's going to kill Fredo. So he needs a family. So I mean, like the bargaining chip Connie has is that she's the only thing left. She's the only one left. He's not going to rebuff her. He needs a member of his actual family still around him. So,
and she'll make his espresso, Gianni. So she's good.
All of it. Cool. This is what the internet's for, to disagree and agree.
No, it's good. It's good. It's a great conversation. This is excellent. She'll make his espresso. What are they going to do?
Make a spaghetti the whole time. It's his maid at that point. I'll take her.
Now, throughout this scene, Michael is really short and terse with Tom. When Tom asks him, why did you ask me if everything's okay? He says, because I thought you were going to tell me you took this vice president job in Vegas for a hotel chain. And then he goes, so are you going to stay? And he says, yes, io steo. I'm going to stay. Right. So why do you think that there was this like animosity there towards Tom at this point? Any thoughts on that?
I think it was clear good at that point. I don't know.
It's clear he was like he had like an attitude towards Tom when Tom comes in. Tom, and remember, Tom. Maybe it's because here's my theory on it. I think because Tom is he told Tom that Tom is not the consigliere anymore, right? And Tom, I think, starts acting like the consigliere when he says, consider this: the Rosatos are on the run, Roth is on the run. Are they worth it? Like he's acting like a consigliere at that point, and maybe Michael resented that he told him you're not the consigliere anymore, and he's still acting like a consigliere at that point. I don't know. That's just something that popped into my head.
It was built in him. He couldn't change. It was just in his nature. He was groomed to be this. He couldn't change.
There you go, Stiggs. It's that treachery and that just to be on top, because Tom could do just as good as he could do. He's letting Tom know that he's the boss. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tom
and his brother.
Yeah, and Michael was probably hard to convince. Remember, like you said, Michael wasn't around for a lot of things.
Right.
We didn't see the growth of Tom in this business.
Yeah.
He left him as a teen. I'm just using, but I don't know. Maybe he left him as a teenager when he went to where? Georgetown or whatever. He went away.
He went to
and
Cornell, I think. Cornell,
wherever he went. And remember, Tom was just a young guy, basically. He doesn't know what happened in those 4 or 5 years that it really elevated. Tom really elevated in his knowledge, his education, his ability, his experience, everything. So Michael missed all of those, so to speak, formative years of Tom's apprenticeship.
Right. And Tom was a little more for Tony Silo. Tom was a little more a man's man. He had gumadris. He was making moves.
Who was Tom?
Damn straight. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he got right into the life.
Don't you remember when Michael said you could take your gumadi? You're not a wartime consigliere.
Yes,
he said all those things.
He says, "Are you going to come along?"
All things.
Are you going to come along
with
me?
He stepped up to the role, basically.
Yup.
And he says,
right into
Are you going to come along with me, or are you going? Or if you're not, you could take your wife, your kids, and your mistress and move to Las Vegas and take that job. Right? So it's such a like a nasty rebuff to someone who you've considered your brother, you know, for your life, you know, and that you put in charge of the family when you were on the run. You know, when someone was trying to kill you, you put him in charge of the family.
But hold on, you're missing one. We're missing one part here.
What?
He's ready to kill his own brother. What is Tom?
That's true. Yeah. Right. That's true.
He already resolved to the fact that this life is so bad I got to kill my own brother. What is Tom? He's a brother and not even a brother, really, in reality.
Yeah,
so his disrespect to Tom or disdain or whatever we want to call it shouldn't be surprising when he already resolved to the fact that he's going to take his mother's son's life.
Now, here's something that I found out, which is very interesting regarding this scene. That there was something written into the script that was deleted, and a scene was never made of it. But in the script, it originally said that Michael brings up, you know, take your mistress with you, because he found out that Tom's mistress was Sonny's widow.
Yes.
Sandra Corleone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that added to the animosity here, you know, and why he said, you know, take your mistress and get out of here, basically.
Okay, you didn't say that first. See, I didn't know that.
Right.
No, I didn't. I just learned that. I didn't know that either. I just learned that.
Okay.
I learned that was in the script.
It's a little bit of a different component now. Yeah. You just took it to another level.
Right.
Wow. Didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was his sister.
Oh my gosh. Sister-in-law, yeah.
Sister-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sister-in-law, I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah. But that's Michael's that's the Michael being his father again, right? His father, you know, those moral values are still there. Those moral values are still there of you don't screw around, you know, you don't cheat on your family, your wife, you don't screw around, you know, you disrespect those that do that. You know, you don't think that you think lowly of them. You think lowly of those that do that.
Let's get back to the word hypocrite a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black when he went to Sicily with Apollonia, when he had the other one back in America, that he had this? That is a hypocrite to me.
Well, the whole life.
Remember, Apollonia was he figured he was done. He was done with Kay.
Yeah, well, he figured wrong, didn't he? Well, that's what I'm saying. So that falls right under hypocrite.
Yeah.
In my book. So, you know, he's got a lot of, you know, goonies, this guy.
But being that it was his sister-in-law, yeah, that's a little tough, man.
Huh?
That's tough. That's hard. The sister-in-law, Sonny's wife. That's tough. That's tough.
I didn't know it was Sonny's wife.
I didn't either till just now. I didn't know that either. Wow, that's crazy.
I knew he had gumadris. I didn't know it was Sonny's wife. Jesus, give me a break here. I wouldn't okay that either.
So you could see, Ant, if you said that first, we would have had a different answer.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't even have talked about those other things. But another interesting thing about this picture, Michael's still wearing his wedding ring in this picture. He's divorced.
With Kay?
Mm-hmm. That's still his wedding ring right there.
Marie.
Wow. That's his wedding ring right there?
Yep.
Interesting.
So I don't know what that says about him in regards to marriage. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
It's just an interesting fact that I noticed. Here's another thing. Whatever happened to the Rosato brothers? We never learn what happens to the Rosato brothers.
The Rosato brothers. I know.
We never happened.
What happened? They had to get knocked off or something. I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't know what happened to them. They never said anything. There's no book, so we don't know.
Not a word about it.
The old man got shot. He was one of the 5 in the ending of 1. But the brothers,
they yeah, I don't know. But I searched around. I tried to find anything. I couldn't find anything about the Rosato brothers. What became of them at all. I couldn't find anything.
We got to Google what happened to the Rosato brothers.
Nothing. Wow, we don't know, huh? We don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they say that the Rosato brothers are based on the gallows. That's what the prevailing thing is, that they're based on Joey and Albert Gallo.
Well, Albert went away and Joey got clipped, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So but it's funny because in reality, the gallows were the ones always getting choked out and trying to get hit. They were trying to hit them guys.
Yeah.
So if they based it on the gallows, they had the hit scenes right.
Yes.
But it was the other way around.
Yes, the scene with Pentangeli when they strangle, that happened to Albert Gallo. That scene, he got saved by a cop coming in. They were killing him, and a cop interrupted him getting killed. That's exactly right. That's where that scene came from. Only it was reversed.
So it's all. Yep, you said it reversed. It's all Gallo stuff, but reversed.
Yep.
Yep. All that. Even what's his name? Hang on. Luca getting strangled. Same thing.
Right. So anyway, that's the scene there, and basically Tom capitulates and says, I'll do what you want me. What do you want me to do? And then we find out. We'll find out in the next coming scene. But he's basically recommitted himself to do whatever he needs to do for the family at that point.
Yeah, he's all in it.
And okay, so the next scene is just is a very, very short scene, which is Fredo and Anthony in the boat, and Fredo tells him about Fredo's back in as far as he knows, he's back in it. He's hanging out with Anthony, he's going fishing, and he tells him the whole Hail Mary thing. That was a secret. He would everybody put his line in the water. He would say a Hail Mary, and that would help him catch a fish. So that's a very short scene, but it's it sets up what comes on later on.
It's spelled different, Edwin. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, it's Rosato with a T.
Rosato.
Yeah.
T.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So the next scene is Tom is carrying out what he was told to do. So Tom goes to meet Pentangeli, visit him in the federal prison. And this iconic scene right here, where they're in the yard smoking cigars, the two of them.
Frankie Five Angels.
Right, and that's where Frankie Five Angels. The first time it's said, Frankie Five Angels.
Yeah,
right
yeah. Frankie Five Angels comes in here, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Tom.
Wow.
And the interesting thing about this is the tact in which Hagen uses. He doesn't tell him you have to kill yourself. He doesn't give a threat. He doesn't do anything. All he does is, first of all, Pentangeli asks him, what happened with my brother? Oh, he went back. He didn't even want to go to dinner. He got back on the plane, and he's in Sicily by now.
That's all he wanted to know.
That's all he wanted to do. And and Frank says,
go ahead, Ailey.
That's my brother. Frank says, yeah, that's my brother. He couldn't get him away from that 2-meal town.
Yep.
Go ahead, Dino. Yep.
What the public, what they don't know,
yep.
Right there is two stand-up OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Tom went in, so relaxed with his cigar.
Yeah.
Frankie Five Angels, Tom, I love you. Saying it like this, Tom, I love you. I know I got to kill myself, but that's okay. I got it under control. My family's going to live good. We're going to keep our money. Thank you, Tom. Tell Michael thank you.
Oh,
I'll pour myself right after I eat today, right into the bathtub, and everything will be good.
Oh my God, you're
Thank
crazy.
you, Tom. I kiss you. Tom,
Oh,
thank you for coming today for me being able to say this to everybody. Thank you, Tom. Tell everybody I love them. And
oh
that's what
my
I did.
God. You're
How was that?
crazy. That's perfect.
Yep. You know, and how does Tom bring up the subject? He says, Frankie, you're always into politics. You're in history. You're always into history.
Machiavelli.
You know, in the Roman Empire, how the capo regimes were set up like the Roman Empire, and Frankie Five Angels says, yeah, the Corleone family was like the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
He set up the cushions for him.
Yeah.
He said, and then he says, but Frankie, when a plot against the emperor failed, the plotters were always given a chance to save their fortunes. And that's all he says. And then Pentangeli gets the message right there and starts talking and says, well, yeah, but only if they set a nice bath, they opened their veins, and their families were taken care of. Their families were taken care of, Tom.
Oh my God. Wow.
ALV said it the political way. Dean Du said it the street night way. You got the best of both worlds right there.
My Lord.
It couldn't be perfectly said. It couldn't be perfectly said.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Great stuff.
But Frankie gets to it himself. Tom doesn't have to say a word. Frankie gets to it himself.
No.
My Lord. He killed him. He clipped him with words.
Yeah.
He clipped him with my God, with words.
That wasn't even a clipping. Like I said, was a romanticized two Goombas getting together, knowing what they got to do. Okay.
Yeah, I think, and Frankie Pentangeli is saying this is the honorable way out of the situation that I'm in. That's what he's thinking. That's what he's saying. This is the honorable way.
Yeah.
And look at how relaxed. Look at how good and relaxed Pentangeli is in that whole scene. He didn't care about nothing because he knew the outcome already.
You know why, Dean Du? His brains aren't being spread across the street. He's going to take himself out.
Yup. Exactly. Stiggs that's over right there. He knows it. He's just got to be nice, calm. He wants to see Tom, tell him all the good things. He already knew what he did wrong.
Yep.
Whole 10.
Yep.
Whole 10.
Wow. Incredible.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Wow,
there.
really good. Yeah.
And then the last scene we're going to talk about is the visitation of Kay, right? Which is hold on here. Let's see if I can pull this up. Where Connie basically sets this up. Connie sets up this meeting for Kay to meet the kids. Because at this point, obviously, she's completely separate from the kids. Like, she doesn't get to see the kids at all, which is so bizarre. You know, a mother not allowed to see their kids.
No rights, no nothing.
So we never saw any of that, right?
No.
We never saw any of. We don't know why they hate the mother. Obviously, from our eye, it looks like they can't stand the mother. But we don't know why. We never saw a court thing. We never saw anything. No. We never saw a divorce stuff. Nothing. We saw nothing. So all of a sudden, we fast forward and we see the kids are really, you can see just by the way they're acting. They don't even care.
Right. Well, you could say they've been brainwashed against their mother or whatever. You know, I don't know. I mean, but it's obvious that in 1959, for the power he must have wielded to get full custody where she's not allowed to see the kids it's
unbelievable.
It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Now, in the scene, I couldn't find many pictures of the scene, but this is where Michael discovers her there. And slowly closes the door on her, and you hear her crying as the door closes. But as that scene opens, Connie's there, like, hurry up, you gotta go. She's trying to usher her out before Michael gets there, and you see there's another person in the scene too who's a nanny, and the nanny's like visibly nervous. She's visibly nervous. She's like she's so afraid that Michael's gonna find out that, and she's gonna get the blame. for Kay seeing the kids.
You never really saw her.
They got to be careful, you know.
Mhm.
Jesus, you can, you know, the poor horse got pushed off a cliff because it bucked. You got to be careful with these guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's just
Yep.
little humor. Little humor.
It's true though.
Yeah.
And she wants her, you know, the daughter kisses her goodbye. Anthony refuses to kiss her goodbye. Anthony just refuses. He doesn't, won't even go near her. And that's why she turns at the door. And instead of just leaving, she turns at the door in an attempt to get Anthony to come and give her a kiss before she leaves. And that's when Michael comes in. But
Yeah, she sees him. Yeah.
But Anthony is so under the thumb of his father that he wants nothing to do with her at all.
Really, unbelievable. Really
I'm
is.
just going to say this. I just want to say this, guys. I don't know if the woman turned around and told Dindu that she got an abortion.
Yeah, you'd have the same reaction.
I don't know if I could ever look at that woman again.
Yeah.
If I could ever, come on, you know, you got to put some reality to it, guys. You know.
Yeah, no, sure, absolutely.
Watch a brute like that.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
could you ever give her the time of day? You know.
Watch a brute.
I'm sorry. You know, I would do everything in my power for that, for her never to see anything.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
that's a good observation. Yeah.
Normal feelings there.
In short, really, in short, there's only two people in this whole thing. Wait, why is my camera on? There's only two people in this whole thing that he really can't stand, and that's Fredo, part of trying to take his life, and that is his ex-wife who took his child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than those two, he had them around. Even, you know, Pentangeli. He had people, you know, he didn't just write them off immediately. He entertained them a little bit.
Yeah.
These two,
well, it's personal. It's personal.
Nothing.
With both of them, it's personal, right? It's emotional and it's personal. It has nothing to do with business.
It's right at the heart. Yeah.
Right, but that was perfect too. She is a murderer too. She killed the kid.
Right.
Too. Mm-hmm. She's a murderer.
Right. So the brother tried to murder him, and she murdered his son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come on. She's a murderer too. That no good.
She is.
I'll behave.
Yeah. No, you're right. Now there's an alternate storyline here because after Mario Puzo died, there was a book written called The Return of the Godfather, and it takes place. I haven't read it. I don't know much about it at all. I just read a synopsis of it. That when Puzo died, before Puzo died, he said he wouldn't object to someone doing a sequel unless it had to be after he died to The Godfather 2. The only way they would do another one is he didn't want to do it himself. He didn't want to write it, and it would have to be someone after he died. So what they did was after Puzo died, they had a contest where writers put in different bids basically to do this, and they came up with a novel called Godfather Returns, and it takes place at the same time as Godfather 2, and it goes a little bit farther into the future, but it doesn't talk about this stuff. It's like other things that happen in that time period. It's like other stuff. It doesn't talk about what's in Godfather 2 that we see, but it talks about other stuff. Now, in that storyline, they say Kay never got an abortion. She just told Michael she did, that she actually had a miscarriage, and just told Michael she did because she wanted to hurt him and break him away from him. And she knew that if she told him that, he would have nothing to do with her ever again. And this becomes an issue because what happens is Michael finds out a doctor that she was seeing and has the doctor killed because he thinks the doctor performed the abortion on her. But it turns out he didn't. So Kay grapples with this with the guilt that she caused the death of this doctor by putting forth this falsehood to Michael. Now it's an alternate storyline, but I just thought it was worth sharing because that's what is in that book.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's I hate the whole abortion part of this at all. I really do. I know it's key to the character, to what Michael turns into. It really is. But I don't know.
Wow.
But the original Kay in The Godfather, the Kay in The Godfather, as described, would not have gotten abortion. That's my position. As I read about Kay in The Godfather, the book, I don't think she would have gotten an abortion. She actually becomes Catholic in the book. She actually converts.
So you're thinking she lied about it. She wanted it out that bad.
Yeah. I mean, that would be more in kin with the book, the original book, if she lied about it.
You don't think she's that evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But who knows? I mean, look, the movie is what
we
it is.
We don't know. This is why we do this, right?
Yeah.
This is the beauty of what we do right here. So,
yep.
We got three different, similar but different, different eyes. So, wow, interesting. That's a good.
So that's where we are. So those are the 5 scenes I wanted to cover today.
She was Catholic before she had this abortion.
Yeah, she turned Catholic. Yes, she turned Catholic when they were in New York. At the end, before they moved to Nevada, she converted to Catholicism.
So she really wanted out that bad. Maybe she actually did have a miscarriage. We don't know. Wow.
Yeah,
but it's all cinematic. We don't know anything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like she took the miscarriage as a sign from God that she had to get away from him, and she knew the only way he would have nothing to do with her was to be if he thought she had an abortion.
Well, she didn't think big picture for the doctor and anybody else involved.
No, no, she didn't.
She wasn't helping anybody else except herself right there.
Yeah.
She didn't know how strong Michael was.
Mine was Lula.
Oh, stupid.
Yes,
stupid girl.
yes. You know, and
I couldn't stand her, but she needed to be in this. She needed this. This role had to be part of the movie.
Well, yeah, there's like an anti-hero type of position that she has. She's like, yeah, you have to have that. You have to have something that in the storyline.
But it goes back to what you said previous shows, that he's only with her because of circumstance through university life.
Yeah. Yep.
He's not with her through culture, because if he left the culture to go into, different things.
Right.
He just totally went out of so.
Could you take that picture down? I want a mule kicker right in the forehead.
Hold on, I'll get it off.
Thank you, ALV. The mule kicker's ready for her. The more we're talking about this, I'm looking at that forehead. What a good shot that would
be. Just another preview for Godfather 3. A thing I ran across is the Don Altobello in The Godfather 3. He's played by Eli Wallach, right?
Yeah.
The background to that character is that he was the consigliere to the D'Italia family, and when Bruno was killed, and the family was taken over by Rico. I think his name was Rico D'Italia. And then Rico D'Italia dies of natural causes, and Altobello takes over the family, takes over the head of the family, the traditional D'Italia family. That's the background to Don Altobello. Because I always thought, where did this guy come from? Where did he come from?
Yeah.
But that's what I found out based on looking at the script of. I started to see some of the script of Godfather 3. And by the way, we talked about Godfather 3, or what did we say? Coda. We talked about Coda. I watched Coda because I recorded it. It's just Godfather 3. There's nothing new. It's just Godfather 3. I don't know what they supposedly changed. I couldn't tell you anything. I couldn't tell you anything different about it.
Well, did you watch 3 before you watched Coda?
No, I don't have 3. But
there you go.
But from what I recall, there's not much different. There's not. Okay. I don't see much different.
Coda was on what, HBO?
It was on Showtime.
All right, I got it.
I recorded it and I watched it the other day, and it seems like the same thing.
I really liked 3. Some people say you're crazy, but I liked it.
Gianni, you could land a 747 on that forehead.
Just like I just liked some aspects of 3.
Here's what I like. Honestly, I do
3.
like the story. I really like the story of Godfather 3. I do. I don't like some of the acting itself. Some of the acting annoyed me. Like
It did.
Andy Garcia was perfect though as Sonny's son.
The
Sonny's he was Sonny's son. He was a hothead just like Sonny.
You know who I loved in there? Vito Anafurmo. Huh? The big Vito Anafurmo, the fighter.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Vito
but
Anafurmo. You guys don't know who Vito Anafurmo is?
Yeah.
What's her name? What's her name? Coppola's daughter was horrendous. Her acting was horrendous. It was so bad.
Just as bad as Chaz putting his kids in.
It was bad. It was bad. But the backstory behind that though is that she was a last minute put in. That it was supposed to be Winona Ryder was supposed to have that role, and that she pulled out, and he put his daughter in as a fill-in. It was like a last minute thing. It wasn't.
So
do
you think? Wait a minute. Do you think the acting was bad, or do you think the character was bad, and they were supposed to make her be bad?
No, I think I think her acting was horrible. Like it was just terrible. It was like
I do too.
She had the look. Listen, she had the look. To be.
That's all she had was the look.
She had the look. Yeah, she looked. She wasn't. No, I'm thinking about it now in the kitchen. She wasn't good. No.
It's just like basic acting skills. Basic acting skills were gone. They were non-existent.
Horrible.
You know.
Yeah. No, not so good. Not so good.
But the rest of the actors were fine. It's just like she's just like this glaring spot in that movie that kind of threw everybody off. You know, just
her brother was good. Her brother was good. Anthony was good.
Yeah, he was a good actor. That kid was a good actor. The Sicilian assassins were amazing. Those guys were perfect.
So 3 was good. Joey Zaza was good. They were good.
Yeah. They were.
The men at the sit down, the old dons, they were good.
Yeah, all of that. You know, the helicopter coming over and blowing everybody away was a little crazy.
Yeah, that was a little
extreme. Yeah, that was.
That was a little for a chieftain meeting, bringing a helicopter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look. That really.
The whole Borgata goes down the drain.
That wasn't good. But other than that, if people look at it different than what they want it to be, if you open up a little bit, you will enjoy it. It was not Godfather 1, and it was not Godfather 2. You can never, ever even come close to either of those two things. But it brought it into modern worlds.
Gianni, I have no idea what you're talking about. How is it completely different? It's the same scenes. I don't understand how it's completely different. Coda.
I don't know.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I didn't see Coda. I didn't
no clue what you're talking about. Completely different. It's the same exact thing.
It's the same?
It's exactly the same. I mean, it's the same story, the same scenes. There's no new scenes in that. I didn't see any new scenes. They took scenes out, I think. What they did was they took certain scenes out. That's all they did. I mean,
okay. Was what Gianni or Ant was that helicopter thing in Coda or no?
Oh yeah, it's there. Yeah,
really? That was the worst scene. I'm surprised they didn't take that out.
It's there.
I like 3. I did too, Gianni. I did enjoy 3. And I watched it with Charlie, Gianni, and he loved 3. So I'm just taking you from a 93-year-old Sicilian immigrant.
Well, it's beaming with Sicilian culture. You know, when they're in Sicily and the opera and everything. It's just it's beaming with that stuff.
I think Octavia's right. She could have played a better part than Coppola there.
You're right. You're right, Octavia. Yes.
Yes, Octavia. I gotta agree with you there.
Yeah.
You should have been in there. Where were you, Octavia?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Why didn't you throw your hat in the ring?
Look, you could have been in Godfather 3.
Wait a minute, Octavia. What is Discord, and what is Facebook? I'm not over. What do you mean? I took 2-day vacation days. What do you mean?
Silo's asking if Michael whacked Fredo. Why didn't he whack Vincent? I don't understand that question.
Vincent.
Oh, because Vincent he was with her daughter.
Which Vincent?
Vincent from Godfather 3 was with her daughter.
Vincent Mancini. Vincent Mancini. Okay. Well, remember, Michael wasn't at that point. Michael wasn't wanted to whack anybody. He didn't. He
was in the
confessed
church.
all his sins. He's looking for salvation. He doesn't want to whack anybody at that point.
Right. That's after his dispensation. Is that the word?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
met with the Pope.
Met with
Met
the
with
Pope?
the new Pope. Well, it was
He
before
cried.
it became the Pope, but yeah.
Cried his eyes out, and
Mhm.
if you didn't see Three Guys, you must check it out.
Yeah, everybody who's interested should go back and see it, because it's not something that's prominent. You don't see it on TV a lot. It's not something like the others where they're like staples. So you have to go back and watch it to get an understanding of it. So
You guys are going to make me watch that now.
You gotta, Dino. You gotta, Dino. I mean, we only have like 2 scenes left, basically.
Yeah.
We got.
Okay, I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to watch it tonight.
You're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it, Dino, no doubt.
Okay.
Except the helicopter scene.
So long.
Except the helicopter scene is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Atlantic City?
It's Atlantic City. Yeah, it's supposed to be in Atlantic City. Yep. So
yeah, I got to tell you, Andy Garcia was absolutely incredible. He played Sonny. He played a crazy Sonny's kid.
I mean, a lot of the ways he was worse than Sonny. I think a lot of ways that character was more volatile. Yeah, than Sonny. Yeah.
Bit off Zaza's ear. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Michael Mormile, why did you do that, Michael Mormile? It's just an inside joke in the chat room.
Oh.
Funny. I didn't whack her on
yeah, Tony. I don't know. That's a good question. How would Vincent pan out as the boss? I don't know, because he basically becomes the boss. So I don't know. That's a good question. How did he ultimately pan out? Who knows?
I don't think he would have panned out too good.
He's basically a Gene Borello. It wouldn't work out well.
I'm done.
I had to add that. I mean, what are you going to
do? You are shot. Let me tell you.
Call it out and see it, right? It was there. The helmet is there?
Yes. Oh, my God.
What happened to Andy Garcia? You don't see him acting anymore. I don't see him in movies anymore.
I know. The best movie I love, he plays Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Oh, I haven't seen. That's a movie? I haven't seen that.
ALV. If you want to enjoy the night, watch a great movie, watch Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead with Andy Garcia. There's a ton of great actors in there. I'm not even going to tell you guys no more. If you didn't see this movie, watch it. Steam-Do guarantees it.
All right.
Steam-Do approved?
I'll put it on the list. Put it on the list.
Great movie.
Have a good day, Silo. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
Yes.
All right, so that's it, guys. I think next scenes are basically the hit on Roth and Pentangeli and stuff. So we'll go over that, and then the final scene, which is such an iconic scene, the final scene of Godfather 2, which is amazing. It's a throwback. It's a throwback to the Godfather, the original Godfather, which is such.
All right.
We could do a show just on that scene because there's like so much in that.
So we probably have 2 more, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Nice.
This was fun. I'm enjoying it.
All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate all your efforts and participating in the chats, talking to each other, behaving properly as always. I really appreciate that. No fighting or any of that stuff or crazy troll activity, which is great. So thank you so much. And I hope everyone has a blessed Sunday. We'll see you next time.
Perfect. Later, guys.
If I could just shut this off. There we go.
You got it.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.